In this video, I want to show you how to draw and intersect complex roofs. To do this, I have opened a sample project in which I will guide you step by step through the process. First, I will show you how to draw a complex roof. I click on the Layer Management on the right side of the screen. As you can see, the building has a total of 3 floors. The top floor is an empty floor without windows and interior walls, which is needed for drawing the roof. I activate the top floor by moving the blue dot, and now I am going to draw the roof. To do this, I first switch to construction mode. There, I click on the Roof button in the subcategory Roof. Next, I set the drawing type to Polygon. To draw the roof, I click with the left mouse button on the corner points of my walls where the roof should be created. After I have correctly placed all points, I press the Escape key to create the roof. When drawing, it is important to set the points accurately. Otherwise, errors may occur during the roof creation, leading to strange shapes or angles. Now, when I switch to 3D mode, you can see the newly drawn roof here. In the lower part of the screen, I click on Show Wood Framework and then on Show to also see the wooden structure of the roof. Next, I click on the roof to edit it further. On the left side of the screen, I now click on Roof. A window opens where I can change various parameters of the roof. This is divided into the categories General, Roof Side, and 2D Display. First, I want to edit the roof sides. To do this, I click on the corresponding tab and see a simplified line drawing of my roof. In this drawing, I can click on the side of the roof that I want to change. I want to have a gable on the right and left sides. I change that here. I also want a gable on the roof over the balcony, so I click on the corresponding line and change it as well. As you can see, the shape of the roof has now changed. Next, I want to change the slope of the roof. To do this, I click on the top edge of the line drawing and enter a different value for slope. This allows me to adjust the roof according to my preferences. I can also change the height of the roof. I do this by entering the desired value for height. When changing the height this way, I have to set this for each roof surface individually. I will now set this for all roof surfaces so that they are at the same height. As you can see, my columns are not connected to the small roof. By clicking on a column and then clicking on Dimension/Level in the upper left corner of the screen, I can extend it so that they reach under the roof. First, I need to check the box for Use Different Levels from Story. After that, I can increase the column. It doesn't matter how high I set it, as I can trim it under the roof by checking the box for Attach Top Edges at Roofs. Of course, the height must be at least high enough to reach the underside of the roof. This is what a somewhat complex roof looks like when drawn as a whole structure. The advantage of this approach is that the roof can be raised or lowered as a whole. You can do this by selecting the roof with a mouse click and then clicking on Roof in the upper left corner of the screen. In the lower part of the window that opens, you can lower the roof under Move Roof Over by entering a negative value or raise it by entering a positive value. I will now raise the roof by 1 meter, so I enter 100. On the gable side, you can now see that the walls no longer reach the underside of the roof. To increase them, I do it similarly to the columns. I click on the wall that I want to raise and then click on Construction in the upper left corner of the screen. A window opens where I can either select the Wall Construction tab or the Elevations tab. I click on Elevations and see the option Set Different Levels from the Story, just like with the columns. I check the box, and now I can edit the height of the wall. The height doesn't matter, as it will be trimmed with the roof. However, it is important to raise the necessary walls using this function, and not to change the wall heights of the entire floor. In the next step, we will draw the same roof again. This time, however, I will create it from 2 roof elements. First, I will delete the existing roof and go back to the Construction tab. I click on the Roof tool and draw a rectangular roof over the building. Then I go to the 2D Elements tab and draw guidelines for the second roof using the Guide tool. These will help me when drawing the roof. After that, I go back to the Construction tab and draw another rectangular roof, this time over the balcony. It doesn't matter where I start drawing, as the two roofs will automatically intersect. Let's take a look at this in 3D mode. It may happen that the roofs do not intersect directly with each other. In this case, the setting that the roofs intersect with each other has already been adopted, but I will now show you how you can configure this. If you go to the Project tab in the upper left corner of the screen, you will see below the tab the button Intersert under Roofs. When you click on it, you have the options to select None, All, or Select Only. You need to select All to intersect different roof surfaces with each other. The wooden structure of the roof is also intersected. I can check this by going to Show Wood Framework in the lower part of the screen and selecting Show Exclusively. Creating a roof in this way has the advantage that I can raise or lower the individual elements independently of each other. For example, if I want to lift the roof over the balcony as a whole without raising the main roof, I have the option to do so this way. Another advantage is that I can assign different textures to the individual roof elements. I couldn't do this if the roof were just a single construct. In this way, you have the opportunity to edit the roof according to your preferences.